think we're okay now. A little bit of buffering over here on the YouTube side. Welcome, folks, to the Space Ranch. Live from the Space Ranch with you right now. And there we go. Okay, folks, I'm here with you to invite you over to our website tonight. Now, we're going to do a little show for you here. This is not just a teaser video. We're going to go into some topics here with you for a few minutes because what we want you to do is join us tonight at 8 o'clock. Probably about, we'll get started over there about 8:30, actually. So come join us about 8 o'clock and join the live chat. And let me show you what we've got for you here. Right here, the link is in the description of this video, right at the top of the description. You'll click that link, you'll come to this page right here. Let me fix there we go. Now you can see what we've got for you. armoroftruth.net. All right, this is where you can find our live stream tonight where we're uncensored. All right, so if you follow the link and you go there, you'll see that there's a play button there. Tap that play button. And until we're live, you'll see this little offline video. So we'll be on over there tonight, live and uncensored. Come join us. Come join us about 8 p.m. We'll be getting started shortly after that. Sign up, register for the live chat. You can see over here, we've got some live chat available for you. And we look forward to seeing you over there. We have a lot of fun over at armoroftruth.net on Friday evenings. So some of the things we're going to talk about tonight. I'm going to share some insights from Scott Brown's booklet. It's an instruction manual, really, in how to think about this issue that many of us are dealing with. Lots of you are dealing with this. We've had people... we have letters. I have letters to share with you from people who are dealing with this issue just directly. It's directing and impacting their lives. People are having to make the choice, between the jab and family, even. It's real. It's serious. These are unprecedented times. We're seeing things we've never seen before here in the United States of America and the world. And this is a booklet we're going to show you. There is also a link in the description of this video about so you can get this this book for yourself. Listen, they're not asking much. They're really, look at that, $8.95. What looks like they're just trying to cover the cost to print it and ship it, pretty much. So, and they were very, very kind in dealing with us. We were trying to figure out how to get this to people. Emailed them, and they were very gracious in dealing with us. So there's a link in the description for you for that. Here's some of the stuff we're going to talk about tonight. Something strange that popped up. This is not new, but it's new to me. We've just discovered it. A little book called Goodnight Stories for Rebel Girls. Children's book. Well, for young ladies, it seems like. Will my girls one day be rebel girls? So there's mothers blogging about it. We'll look at this. We'll look at so what's bad about that, right? What's wrong with that? Well, the idea of being a rebel for one thing, but also we've got this. What in the world is Marina Abramovich doing here in this? Marina Abramovich appears in this children's book for girls. And what we're going to do, we're going to read this page for you. I'm going to share this with you tonight and see what it is that was said here about Marina Abramovich. Those of you who may not know, she's obviously an occultist, unapologetic occultist. Some might call a witch. But that's one of the heroes that's being held up for our young ladies today. Also, other stories out there, you can see things ramping up. It's not just us Christians. People can see it. Surveillance video capturing this man vandalizing a statue of Jesus at a Miami Shores church in Florida. And it's not isolated. Look at this. Right, whatever you think about statues of Mary and all that, it wouldn't be the Christian thing to do to go around and deface it. No, of course not. So these are signs of the times. Check this one out. What's going on here? People say, "Oh, you're overreacting. Come on, you're so sensitive." All right. Well, we'll look at this story tonight. We'll look at some of these examples from around the country. The next big war, folks. The first war has been on our freedoms and liberties, getting into our body and our bodies. Soon after that is going to be the ideological war. We can already see the signs of that. And listen, it's well known. Let me show you a book here that I want to introduce to you guys. A book here called The Rise and Triumph of the Modern Self. Carl Trueman. Cultural Amnesia, Expressive Individualism, and the Road to Sexual Revolution. This book deals very well with what we see happening in the world. Expressive individualism, the idea that the self is so prominent now. In fact, the self is the idol today. And what that causes, well, one of the symptoms of that is, transgenderism. It would be expected. For instance, if I don't feel well, if I don't feel right, if I'm uncomfortable, that must mean I'm in the wrong body. If we're idolizing the self, that kind of thing might just happen. Trueman deals with this in his book very well. We'll share some concepts from that with you tonight. But that's the problem. That's the problem. There's not just a couple idols. We have billions of idols today, and this is why we see this lashing out against religion. Because if the self is the new God, right, and self-expression becomes has to be allowed no matter what. Now, this doesn't work. This is not logically. It's not. When you follow it to its logical conclusion, well, everyone should be allowed to express themselves, right? However they feel is right. Well, okay, if the rapist feels as though it makes him feel good to rape, then obviously that self-expression is not going to be okay. So there's limits. Who decides what the limits are? Is there any real morality, any objective morality we can look at? Well, without God, you run into big problems. You run into a society that looks a lot like what we have today. Not too terribly unlike Sodom, Gomorrah, Pompeii, perhaps even. So we see things like this. We see the next attack we should see it coming on religion. And why is that? Well, because Christianity affirms a transcendent source of authority, a transcendent moral law that's outside of ourselves. And there are certain self-expressions that are not good. And so because of that, Christianity will certainly at some point have to be outlawed so that everyone can express themselves however they see fit. Now, that'll be a chaotic experience too. Also, we're going to be looking at this piece here. Chicago police. The head of the union urged the cops to defy the mandate. Fraternal Order of Police President John Catanzara vowed to take Mayor Lori Lightfoot's administration to court if it tries to enforce the mandate. That mandate would require city workers to report their job status by the end of the work week. And the police have threatened to walk out. We will update you on this story. We'll let you know what's going on there. Join us tonight. Come in, join us about 8 o'clock over at armoroftruth.net. We'll be getting started shortly after that. We'll give you an update on that story. Also, from around the country with vaccine mandates and whatnot, from the NBA, it seems like there's some athletes. Now, you would have to assume that, of course, there would be some people who wouldn't want to take part in this. Kyrie Irving, NBA star with the Brooklyn Nets, said Wednesday he didn't want to lose salary or a chance to compete for a championship, but he's doing what he said, quote, he's doing what's best for me by refusing to get the jab. Now, the team decided this week on Tuesday that they wouldn't allow him to be with the team because he isn't eligible to play in home games in New York City, where a mandate requires professional athletes on teams that are based in that city to be vaccinated to be able to practice or play in public venues. Kyrie Irving said he loved the game and certainly didn't want to retire, but he is standing his ground. He says, I'm doing what's best for me. I know the consequences here, and if it means that I'm judged and demonized for that, that's just what it is. That's the role I play, but I never wanted to give up my passion, my love, my dream, just over this mandate. He said, so what? It's not about money. It's not always about the money. It's about choosing what's best for you. Well, so this is refreshing because, the folks, if you watch this channel or Days of Noah channel or the other channels associated with this, you already know how we feel about all this. So it is comforting to see, it's encouraging to see other people out there who have a huge platform like this, who are just saying, hey, look, I'm not anti-science. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I'm none of those things. I want to do what's best for me. And of course, come back around where they'll probably say, well, that's an incredibly selfish thing to do. Well, is it really? All right, so we can't talk too much about that here tonight. We will go into that issue a little more deeply. Of course, a Rolling Stone article about this, about the NBA's anti-vaxxers. Here we go. Sorry about that. There we go. NBA's anti-vaxxers are trying to push around the league, they said, and it's working. All right, making some headway there. We'll take a look at that. All right, so we'll check out these pieces tonight, and we'll go around the world. We'll take a trip around the world. The passport in Lithuania and throughout Europe, how recent mandate laws have upended my family's life here in this article. And we've shared with you letters from around the world, viewers that have sent letters into us, telling us about their experiences. Last week or the week before, we read a letter from a viewer in France. Of course, our Tracking Dystopia series that you can find the playlist linked right there on our website, where we Summer has interviewed people from around the world, and they're telling you what their experience is where they are. Something the mainstream media doesn't give you is actual eyewitness accounts from around the world. So Lithuania, we'll look at this personal story here. Also, in Latvia, 3-month state of emergency to start. It's already begun. Take a look at the details of this story. Italy. What are the rules in Italy like today? What do you have to do just to be able to hold down a job in Italy today, or to get a job? Finland. One of our viewers has reached out to us and asked us to pray for Finland. COVID pass expected to enter into force at midnight on Friday after it's signed into law. So we'll look at the details on that story tonight. I'll read the letter from our viewer. And of course, states are pushing back against the technocracy, trying to limit government power. We'll deal with this. We'll look at what's being done. We'll analyze it, and one of the things you have to be careful about here is finding out when we do see pushback or protests, we want to make sure it's not controlled opposition. That's a real thing. COINTELPRO, it's not a tinfoil hat issue. It's real. It's real. And we want to make sure what it is we're actually looking at. Is it organic? Are we seeing real pushback? We'll analyze that tonight. Join us. Come over at 8 p.m. to armoroftruth.net. Some studies. We looked at a couple of these last week from studies around the world that I can't comment on too much here. Coming out of Israel. Stories and studies about natural immunity. You can see those headlines there for yourself. We'll take a look at those. We'll see what's said there. Join us tonight at come over at 8 p.m. We'll be getting started between 8 and 8:30 over there. Come in and join us in the live chat. But I do want to share this with you, a little piece from pastor, theologian, author, and quickly becoming spokesman for our team. Let's listen to a couple comments from Dr. James White here on this situation we find ourselves in.
Amazing. But for those of you in those situations, you know that what you're doing is right. I wish that there was an easy way out of this. The question really is going to be, do you want to be one of those people who say, I fought it. I would not give into it? Or are we just going to go along and say, well, I fought it for a while, but now I'm just one of the slaves? Because that's what it is. If someone can tell you what to put into your body, what to eat, what to wear, where to live, how much money you can make, what kind of jobs you can have, where you can go, when you can go, that's called slavery. That's called enslaving a people. And who could have guessed Christmas of 2019, how easy it would be? Now, those that have arranged this and been preparing for this for over a decade would tell us it was not easy. But those of us who were actually just living our lives during that period of time, it seems like it happened really, really, really fast.
It's moving fast.
So we'll see what happens when, Chicago this weekend, they're looking at possibly as much as 40 to 50% of the police force not being available to work. You know what Chicago's like with all the cops on duty? It's a war zone. Do you not think that all those gang members are going to be completely aware of the fact that this is the weekend to go on a rampage? Wow. And again, exactly what's desired. They want to break things down and then come in to cure everything with Big Brother.
Now, he's going to give some advice here that I want you guys, because I care about the people who watch this channel. And I want you to listen to this piece of advice right here, something I've been saying here to you guys for a while.
It's right in front of us, and it still amazes me how many Christians there are. They're just going, no, nothing's happening. Everything's going to get back to normal. And you're just like, wow, okay. So we need to be praying for each other, helping each other, assisting each other, giving to each other. If you're a Lone Ranger Christian right now, this is not a good time to be a Lone Ranger Christian. And even if you decide, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and get involved with church, do you think that the churches that have already been living community, when all of a sudden someone just decides to just jump in, aren't going to be somewhat hesitant as to the motivations? I mean, this is why we've been saying for a long, long time, you need to be part of the community. And we need to be helping one another and finding ways, finding places to work. There are, believe it or not, a few places. There's at least one major company that I know of that is not demanding these things.
Okay, so there's some stuff that we'll be dealing with as well. There are some companies, major companies out there who aren't requiring all this stuff. Remember, there is no federal mandate. Doesn't exist. What we've seen happen is sort of an edict that's gone out, a request, an order. It's an order, right? You don't have to follow orders. We have laws. So there is no federal mandate, but what's happened is we've seen the way that Agenda 21 is rolled out is the same way. It bypasses federal legislation. It even bypasses state legislation. And what we see is these things implemented at the local level by companies and local governments who are influenced by a non-governmental organization. So anyway, the big point there was community. We need to solidify our communities. And that means corporate worship, your body, the body of Jesus Christ. We, more than ever, we can't just relax and kick up our feet on this one anymore. If you're not part of a church, if you don't belong, now's the time. Now's the time. And you know what? If you're a Christian, if you've been regenerated, you've got a new heart. Your desire should be to be with other believers. Because listen, the way things are going now, it's going to be difficult to survive without a community. You know, without other like-minded people who can take care of one another, strengthen numbers. Now's the time to put your faith in Jesus Christ. Folks, join us at 8 p.m. tonight at armoroftruth.net. The link is in the description. You'll show up. If you follow that link, you'll show up right here, and you'll click the play button right there. Right now, it shows us offline. We'll start broadcasting a little after 8 p.m. tonight. Show will be going full force by 8:30 tonight. Gives us some time to get everything set up and going here. Join us tonight. Come over and join us now if you like. Get in the live chat. And we'll see you there a little after 8 p.m. tonight at armoroftruth.net. We appreciate all your support. Folks being with us. Armor of Truth is a full-time mission. We promote the gospel of Jesus Christ in the age of technocracy, scientism, and pop atheism. As you know, voices that challenge the progressive mainstream narrative are being suppressed. Often we're being silenced. We have built an innovative, independent live streaming, live chat platform where we can all speak freely, and we need your help. Visit armoroftruth.net for uncensored videos, Brad's blog, prayer requests, and just so you can keep a discerning eye on the concerning trends, and plus you can get some uplifting teachings, check out our Culture Vault. Search Armor of Truth on demand on your favorite podcasting platform. And you can also find us nearly everywhere on social media, especially on YouTube, for now. Consider supporting us with your prayers, my friends, and your participation through sharing this content widely. If you are able and you'd like to help us, armoroftruth.net/donations. Also links below in the description in this video. We'll give you details on how to contribute and how to contact us. Donations are used to support outreach efforts like our interactive website, video production, researching, podcasting, and public speaking. Yes, we will come to your area and speak to your group if you'd like. We provide analysis of current events, expose false doctrines, and we give Bible studies, and we ship Bibles and tracts worldwide. My friends, we're here to help you build a proper scriptural cultural theology which is how to represent Jesus Christ in a world that has forgotten the things of God. We appreciate you watching the Brad from Carolina channel. We appreciate your support. Please join us tonight at armoroftruth.net. The link is in the description. God bless you, my friends. We'll see you there.